All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and begin the InvArch community call now. So I wanted to just kick off everything. So these are going to be more informal events that we're trying to do regularly every Friday from here on out, same time. These are more or less just calls for me to kick it with the community, hang out with you guys, answer any questions you guys might have. Just actually communicate with you guys, hear your all's interests, your all's feedback. Have me maybe ask some questions of you guys and just hang out with our InvArch and our ambassadors in our community. So to kick things off, I kind of wanted to get some engagement going and I wanted to ask some people about their week. So does anybody want to go ahead and just say how their week's been, share how things have been going? I'll go ahead and start. So this week's been pretty exciting as far as things here at InvArch goes. Lots of planning for the upcoming events that we're getting ready to go to. We're very, very, very excited. We have lots of aspirations and things planned for while we're there at the events. A couple non-work related things, I guess, is always good to share too. So this week, my child began laughing for the first time, my newborn. So that was really awesome. She is 4 months old and she is just the center of my universe right now. So does anybody else want to go ahead and share how their week's been? Maybe have any questions about progress so far in the community or anything like that? You are able to unmute yourselves here. This is the InvArch Community Lounge, so everyone should have the ability to speak. What about you, AJ? I see you're in here. You want to go ahead and share how your week's been, man?
Hey, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is AJ. I'm the social media manager at InvArch. The week's been going very well. Been preparing for our trip to Austin, Texas. So if some of you don't know or haven't heard, throughout the weekly Wednesdays, we've been talking about how some members of the InVarch team are scheduled to attend Decentral and Consensus 2022. Both are in Austin, Texas. So it's my first time traveling in a few years, and I'm very excited. Honestly, a little bit overwhelmed as well because if you guys you may not have heard of this, but the airport in Toronto, the main one called Pearson Airport, there's been staffing shortages and whatnot. So a lot of people that I've been talking to have been telling me like, hey, don't bring, like, if you can, don't bring checked in luggage, like just bring carry-ons. So
Oh no.
that's been a little overwhelming. But other than that, I am super excited. I can't wait to meet like a lot of Web3 and especially like Dot Sama individuals in like real life. The whole community is like awesome, and I've been having an awesome experience ever since I joined the team and ever since I entered the ecosystem. So, but yeah, that's been pretty much my week. And Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. It's going to be super exciting. I want to get some responses as well from members of our community too. Chris Morris, how about you? Can you tell us how your week's been, man? Share how you've been. Anything that you're excited about this week related to InVarch, just anything like that.
Oh yeah, hello everyone. I've been really busy this week because of the script projects, and actually, a few days ago, I've done brainstorm testnet, and that was really hard testnet, one of the hardest one I've done, but I did it, yeah, and actually. I've done guide on for Russian community uh, about this testnet. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, really excited about MA where Dakota will be speaking. That's really important for InvArch for project. Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a question, but maybe I will answer it later, or I can know.
I mean, go
Okay,
ahead. If you have a question that we're either not allowed to answer due to like we're not like supposed to talk about it yet, or if we just don't have the answer for it yet, I will record your question, and if I'm able to, I'll get back to you either by DM or I will update you in the community call next Friday.
Okay, I think what I'm thinking about is it's difficult for newcomers to understand InvArch technology. Yeah, it really. For example, how we can describe Moonbeam? Yeah, this is a bridge between Polkadot and Ethereum ecosystem. Yeah,
Right.
or BitCountry, it's a metaverse on Polkadot. But you can't describe InvArch like that in one sentence, and I think that's why it's hard to get new people into InvArch because they just don't understand what this mean IP ownership.
Right. So I understand where you're coming from. So InvArch is a very I understand what you're saying. So most of these other projects, they have like one very centered use case or focus or idea that they're achieving. And InvArch is very broad, right? So basically
Yeah.
the sky is the limit. If you can imagine it, you can build it on InvArch. And I think that's kind of where some people feel this intimidation factor. They don't understand like why we aren't just focusing on one aspect of things, right? So but the idea behind InvArch is like our protocol is going to allow so many other revolutionary like dApps and things like that to pop up. So that's one of the reasons why we were very aware of that going in here, that some people might feel intimidated or a little confused as to why we're not just like solely focused on one idea, right? But the end goal is, while we might not actually be quote unquote a common good parachain, we do kind of view ourselves and hold ourselves to that standard. Like we will be providing a common good service that nobody else provides yet, and we'll be doing it for actually affordable rates. Anybody will be able to protect their IP. Anybody will be able to start up an idea and actually seek funding for that, start up teams, those types of things. And it'll be relatively cheaper than it ever has been. Like for example, I don't know how much it costs to patent something in any other country, but I can tell you from not personal experience, but from talking to individuals who have sought patents, it is no joke when they're saying it costs at a bare minimum usually $15,000, if not upwards of $50,000. And the average individual in the United States is not going to have even close to that amount of money to be able to protect any sort of and that's not even guaranteeing the protection, right? That's just seeking the protection. That's just a minimum baseline fee for seeking the protection. You can be rejected and you don't get the money back. That's the crappy part, right? So with this, like, this goes back into the XCA protocol development. Like, so whenever somebody has something that's relatively too similar to your idea, right? If it's flagged and it's kicked back, then they won't be able to move forward with that IP. They'll have to make changes or have to seek out like permissions essentially from you. So those are relatively new things that haven't been ever put in place before, and they're automated, right? Trustless. So I think that's the whole upside of things, is because when you get into the realm of IP and IP protection, IP piracy, all these different things, you run into a plethora of issues. Number one being trust. You just simply, not everybody is going to do what they promise you that they're going to do, and we like to use Facebook as like the most prominent example. If anybody hasn't seen the Social Network movie, it's on Netflix. I highly recommend you guys to watch it because it is a perfect example of what InvArch would not allow to happen, right? Mark Zuckerberg steals the Winklevoss twins' ideas because they essentially shared their idea for Facebook, or as it was referred to back then as the Facebook. They shared their IP in an unprotected environment because they trusted Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg was like, wow, that's an incredible idea. And he went and built it behind their backs. So, he's the billionaire now. They're still millionaires, don't get me wrong. They built Gemini. So they're still doing very well. They're still very bright individuals. But the bottom line is they had that idea and it was absolutely rug pulled out from underneath them. And there was literally basically nothing they could do about it. So the beauty of InvArch, while I understand it is absolutely, it's a very expansive idea, right? It's a very expansive protocol. It allows so many new things to be possible or be allowed to be realized. And I think that's, while it's intimidating, it's also its most exciting factor because we're not limited to just one avenue, right? Like DeFi, that's not just our main focus. We're not just solely committed to finding solutions to improve that or make that process better. We're actually spurring innovation and trying to drive it because personally, this is just personal experience. Bureaucracy is a killer of innovation. Not only that, but a killer of aspiration to get it done, right? So I can't tell you how many things here in the US that people have had inventions for, ideas for, and they get in the process of trying to protect it. That way it can't get stolen from them. And it literally takes them years and hundreds, sometimes of thousands of dollars to try to protect their IP, and sometimes it doesn't happen. And so it's that is the number one thing to me. When I was thinking back to a kid, I had ideas for inventions, I guess you would say, and I would ask my parents about it, and they would be like, "Yeah, that's amazing, but where are you going to get the money to make that idea happen?" And that was instantly a problem. That instantly puts a wrench in your cogs, so to say, because if you don't have resources and you don't have the actual skills to realize your vision, you just have the vision, um, then you are at an avenue, right? You have to find those. And if you can't find them, or you don't even know where to begin to find them, then your idea completely dies out. And that's essentially why InVarch was made. We didn't want ideas to keep dying off. We didn't want innovation to be snuffed out by bureaucracy and red tape constantly. And the original concept has definitely evolved so much, right? Like back in October, we were essentially just envisioning ourselves as an innovation hub where we're connecting thinkers and doers and people with resources, and we're allowing innovation to spur. And now we have OSIF, on-chain innovation funding protocol. You can seek IP donations in the future. Like that's amazing. Okay. And I don't see other protocols doing this. And a lot of protocols are very like one focus centered, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think they're absolutely needed. Like for example, Kilt protocol. We need that type of thing. We need to be able to know that who we're doing business with in an online environment, that they are who they say they are, and that their credentials are verified, and that they're legit, and that they're not going to essentially rug pull you or take your money or take your business idea and run with it. So that's essentially what I wanted to say with that. Going into the next thing I did want to talk about, if you guys didn't know, the brainstorm workshop is on Monday. How many people here have registered? Has anybody registered? If you can, just unmute yourself and just say like "I" really quick, just so I can get like a quick little idea of who's registered for the brainstorm testnet.
Yep.
Chris Morris has. I knew you had. I know several of you. I recognize several of you others has as well. I just wanted to reiterate, like I said, that is coming on Monday. It is still open, so if anybody hasn't registered that's interested, I highly recommend you do. If you guys didn't catch the weekly Wednesday, there is going to be a commemorative NFT or badge given to those who participate in the workshop event. Hint, hint. That might also allow some cool features in the future. However, like I said, there's going to be 2 time slots for the workshop event, guys. So if you haven't signed up for that or you're interested, go ahead and do it. If you're intimidated because you've never participated in testnet before, that's what this workshop is essentially for. Is for experienced people and beginners. There's going to be teams as well as individual workshops. So I highly recommend you guys do participate. We're going to be giving out some NFTs. You'll be getting a brainstormer role and have access to this. So it's going to be a pretty sick event. I'm looking forward to it. I know our tech guys are really pumped. Dakota and Gabe have been working very, very, very hard on the Brainstorm Testnet guide. Also, we do have, in relation to what we were just talking about, Chris, we do have like some explainer videos and things like that we are in the development of, that you guys can expect in the near future. We're pretty pumped. But I do, like I said, I did want to reiterate the Brainstorm Testnet workshops on Monday. If you guys want to participate, I highly recommend it once again. I think it's a great way to kick off your week. The start of it, that's what these are meant for. The InvArch Community Call Fridays are essentially a way to kick off the end of your week and kick off the start of your weekend. Does anybody have any questions related to the Brainstorm Testnet or the workshop event on Monday? If I can answer them, I will. If I can't answer them or there's just not a clear answer, I will write them down and try to get back to you individually, because the workshop, my bad, is Monday. If anybody doesn't want to ask any questions now, that's totally fine. However, if you do end up having one, feel free to DM it to me and I will try to get you an answer before Monday. Absolutely. Just that way you are prepared for the workshop event. Like I said, there's the Gleam link that you can use and you register through that. Make sure you use the Google form. You have to make sure you follow the whole process, because when we first did the event, when we first kicked it off, we had within the first 2 hours, we had 50 registrations, but only 32 people went through with the full process. So that was why we had to end up tagging everybody and saying, hey, make sure you're doing it the right way. Yeah, wanted to reiterate that you guys should definitely participate. It's going to be pretty sweet. The other thing, so the promo team AMA is today with our founder Dakota. Who else is going to be tuning into that? I know I will. If you guys have any questions for the AMA, there's actually, I posted it yesterday. Let me find it here. Yeah. So if you guys go into the community updates channel, it's like the second to last update that I had, basically. At the very bottom of that update, there's a link that if you have any questions, you can leave for the AMA. Not a guarantee that your question will be selected. However, your question might be selected if you leave one. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and leave them with that link. That will be going on, I believe, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. UTC. The promo team are amazing. They've been working with us for a couple months now at this point, and they're just incredible individuals. They ask some of the hard-hitting questions that a lot of the community wants to know, but might not necessarily know how to ask. I feel like that's a common issue we run into sometimes. But going into the next thing, guys, I want to hear from some of you all. So aside from InvArch focusing on the .sama ecosystem, I want to know what some of your all's favorite projects is that you guys have been looking into, what you're excited about, what is your other favorite subjects or things like that inside of Web3, aside from InvArch and IP. I want to give it a moment. Anybody, you are allowed to unmute yourself and just say, hey, introduce yourself and say, this is the other project that I'm interested in right now, and this is why. If not, I will begin calling on just a few individuals to hopefully share their new favorite project aside from InvArch and what's going on with that, why they're excited about them. So feel free to unmute yourselves now and share your other favorite project in the .sama ecosystem, or multiple if you have them, and explain why it is that you are excited about them. And if you have an idea of how InvArch could also benefit them, or vice versa. Okay. Everybody's a little intimidated by it. That's all right. So I'm wanting to call on Melina Boy. Melina Boy, if you could please unmute yourself and share with us what is your other favorite project right now inside of the .sama ecosystem aside from InvArch, and why you're excited about them. Oh, Melina Boy might not have heard me. So, hey, Yunis, H. Yunis, I'm going to call on you instead. Could you share with us what is your other favorite project inside the .sama ecosystem right now, and explain why? Okay, he's not responsive either. Okay, does anybody at all want to share their favorite .sama ecosystem project aside from InvArch? Maybe you're an ambassador for it. You want to talk about it, explain why you became an ambassador for it. The floor is absolutely open to everyone, so feel free to speak about it.
Yeah, hello. I really like another free project in Polkadot ecosystem. It's Moonbeam, obviously. It's sub-wallet, wallet for Polkadot ecosystem, Polkadot and Kusama, and Firefly. This is Dex on Moonbeam.
Okay.
Yep. I really like Moonbeam because this is a big ecosystem. This is a layer one and big ecosystem like an Avalanche, Cosmos or Solana. Yeah, I really like ecosystem projects, and this ecosystem project on Polkadot, this is just awesome, and I like the structure. I've been ambassador for this project like a year. Yeah, really into it. And some wallet, we all know that Polkadot.js is actually not user-friendly wallet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the UI is pretty intimidating to somebody who is not familiar.
Yeah, and the solution for this is sub-wallet actually, because they've created application for browser, and yeah, they created great user-friendly wallet for Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. Actually, you can check your staking in there. You can check your America NFT here, send it, receive it, yeah, and also their AVM a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great project, I think.
Subwallet's really great. I've been using them a little bit myself. I really like their UI. They're I agree with you 100% on that. They're a lot better than the Polkadot.js UI. I can remember when I was getting into looking into all that stuff for the first time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this UI is like the most unfriendly thing. I can remember thinking, like, if I didn't know what was going on right now, I would be so intimidated with this. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. Definitely some great projects. I know Moonbeam. Everybody knows who Moonbeam is. I mean, they're already a great project. There's no issue with that whatsoever. One recent project I was wanting to talk to you guys about that was recently brought to my attention. It's a new project in Web3. I don't think it's necessarily based solely in the .sama ecosystem, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. So I wanted to share with you guys. It's called Azuro. So it's essentially like a betting protocol that they're trying to establish. It democratizes the businesses of betting by breaking down the roles of traditional bookmakers into several smaller roles, and it is openly available for everyone to benefit from liquidity provision, front end management, data provision via Oracle's DAO governance. As a result, they envision a rich, fun betting environment with the decreased cost of services to players, a full transparency because it's blockchain, community ran, and with a commitment to responsibility, essentially, so that way you can't get screwed out of your bets. I just thought it was a very interesting project, so I wanted to share it with you guys because, like I said, it was a new idea. Like I said, I hadn't heard anything for a betting protocol. However, I did figure, that type of thing was coming eventually. Eventually, I imagine almost every asset or facet of this, I guess what you would call like industry, not just industry, but like the entire socioeconomic world that we know it as today, will be affected directly by Web3, heavily by a lot of the current solutions in the Dotsami ecosystem. Um, but thank you so much for sharing that, Chris. Does anybody else want to share any project they're super excited about that you might be an ambassador of that's not InvArch that you want to make other members in the community aware of? 9 times out of 10, we don't want you guys promoting other Dotsama projects on our community server or in the embassy server if you're a member there. However, these community calls are meant to be nonchalant, just laid back, me connecting with members in our community as well as the Dotsama ecosystem. So this is a safe space to do so. I want to hear your all's thoughts. I want to know what other projects you guys are excited in because sometimes I know, and a lot of you I'm sure know, communicating with other members in the Dotsama ecosystem, you might think a project's not that cool, and you talk to somebody who's like a hype beast about it, and they open your eyes to a reason why you were wrong. So a lot of the times, I love engagements like this. I love hearing from the community and hearing what you guys are excited about. Um, I did want to say, just for the record, Giannis apologized. He messaged me on DM and said that where he's at, he cannot currently speak. So he apologized for leaving me on red, so to say. But does anybody else want to share any Sama ecosystem projects that they're super excited about, or just another Web3 solution that's on the way? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I thought that was somebody unmuting for a second. Okay. So going on to the next thing of the community call that I wanted to talk about. So as you guys might have seen in the Wednesday weekly Wednesday update, gosh, that was a mouthful. I couldn't get that out for some reason. The Tinkernomics, you guys have spoken. So the Tinkernomics will be being changed, and eventually this will reflect as well. It was a very, very tight race. 46.5% voted in favor for 11,700,000 Tinker, and 37.4% voted for 117 million Tinker, which was the initial supply that was established. And then an initial 16% additionally voted between 117 billion Tinker and just 117 Tinker. So with that in mind, just be prepared for things to reflect, the changes. The community voted on it. We wanted your all's opinion on it, and you gave it to us. So thank you for that 100%. The Tinker supply will reflect the 11,700,000. So we appreciate your all's feedback. We appreciate your all's support with the polls that we've been doing. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback and engagement with all of these. So that has been awesome, and we greatly appreciate it. So does anybody else have any thoughts or questions regarding the Tinkernet that they would like to possibly ask or share with the rest of the community that's attending right now? Feel free to ask or give your thoughts or opinions on the Tinkernet or the Tinkernet crowd loan. So just wanting to once again reiterate, so the Tinkernet crowd loan will be going on. The goal is this summer. We know we said as early as the 39th slot, which is beginning in 2 days. However, it's not looking like that's going to be the case. We didn't guarantee that was going to happen. We said that would be a kind of awesome if it could happen that early, but we weren't sure. It's not looking like that's going to be the case. If so, we would have been hyping you guys up ahead of time. So Be prepared though for that announcement. We will keep you guys updated as far as the Tinkernet crowd loan goes. You guys have seen the Tinkernet crowd loan economics. Tinkernomics. Excuse me, mouthful again. So you guys know to be excited for it. I've seen a lot of people reaching out to me via DM as well as publicly in the Tinkernet feedback channels and saying, hey, super looking forward to the crowd loan. I'm super looking forward to contributing. So we appreciate all the support and love that we've received from you guys. It's been awesome. We know that you guys are just as excited about the crowd loan as we are. So thank you all for that. Um, I wanted to open the floor for anybody to talk about the market. I wanted to begin though. So currently, I know there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and disappointment, as I like to call it, going around, right? So we haven't really felt the FUD. Here at InvArch, don't get me wrong, we've felt it, we've seen it, and we've seen other projects in the ecosystem really get hurt by it. Some projects are literally calling it quits, which sucks. Like, for example, Polaris DAO. I don't know if any of you guys know who they are. However, I was a member of Polaris DAO, and like literally just yesterday or 2 days ago, they rug pulled the project. They just said it was done. There was nothing that they could really do about it, and closed its doors. So I actually do expect to see this trend sort of continue while we're in this bit of a bear market. However, there's positives and negatives to every aspect. So the positive to take from this current situation is that the projects that are securing parachains right now are securing slots, auctions, the ones who are still continuing to build and provide solutions for Web3. These are the projects and the teams that you need to be following. The ones that are essentially closing shop, they're not able to keep hype built behind the project because they're not providing enough solutions, they're not providing enough educational resources, these types of things for the community. That is unfortunate, don't get me wrong, but I think it is a needed thing because we can all agree every day there's so many new projects that are popping up all the time, and it's hard to sometimes distinguish which ones are going to kind of make it through the noise and which ones are essentially scams or Ponzi schemes or whatever the case might be, rug pulls, pump and dumps, you name it. So but the beauty of being on a team like InvArch is I'm surrounded by a team of like-minded individuals who they want to see the betterment of society happen, and they realize that through this technology, they're going to allow that to happen trustlessly, right? That's the beauty of it. So when you have a team of individuals who want to essentially provide a trustless solution for spurring innovation like we haven't seen before, all the FUD that I would have had goes completely out the window because we have a team of builders who, regardless of the market, regardless of the current situation, they see beyond like the noise. They see the realities of what these projects are going to create, and they're building it regardless. That's what makes me super excited. It's what I look forward to getting online every day and talking with our community members, seeing the updates on the tech side that you guys don't get to see yet, haha, and getting to just essentially get hype about the future because there's so many exciting things and solutions that's being made. Uh, Regardless of any FUD, InvArch is here to stay. I'm confident in that. Polkadot's here to stay. The Dotsami ecosystem isn't going anywhere, regardless of the bear market or any FUD or anything like that. You got solid projects. We have a couple more announcements in the near future that I think is going to absolutely blow your guys' socks off. I think you guys aren't prepared for them. Evan, you're going to be super excited. Wish we could do it right now, just kind of like impromptu announcement, but I can't do that. Does anybody else want to comment on the current market? Have any thoughts, any not necessarily financial advice for anybody, but any words of encouragement during this current bear market? Feel free to speak now or forever hold your peace. I wanted to ask AJ currently. He's our social media manager. He's been on this community call with us. AJ, I was wanting to ask you if you had any words to comment on the current market. Any words of encouragement to kind of stomp out the FUD, so to say, because I know you being another member here of the InvArch team, you're not feeling the FUD.
Yeah. Something that I haven't really talked about, I guess openly, but I mean, I do have experience trading in the forex markets, as well as like the crypto markets, and my previous day job was working at a big bank here in Canada, so I was already exposed to the various financial markets, mainly the, I guess I would call like the fiat markets, um, and surrounded by people that would talk about investments, stocks, commodities, and buy low, sell high. Who's your favorite investor? Which assets are you holding? Blah blah blah. So like it gave me a really good fundamental base when it came to just general investing. I've been in crypto as just a mere enthusiast, actually since like high school. So like early Bitcoin days. Never really understood it to the point where I purchased crypto or even Bitcoin back then. I very heavily regret that now.
I think everybody does.
Yeah. But it's all like, I think like things happen for a reason, and I believe that for a lot of us, our time to when it comes to like getting in on a token or a crypto that is gonna 100x, right? Like I think we all have our time and place for that. I think I think it will happen for a lot of us. It may not happen for some of us, but I mean, like, as long as you keep properly educated, you're following the right people, you're not looking up to a lot of gurus in the space or in any other space. You're not looking up to, you're not sourcing your knowledge and information from people that are unreliable, essentially. I think you'll be golden, right? And 100%. I mean, like, for example, like what happened with Terra Luna, is like truly like devastating. I know friends of friends that have invested quite a bit into it, and like they totally put their trust in the project, and we all know how that happens. So um, when it comes to FUD, when it comes to worries and anxieties around the market, you know um, personally, like if you ask me, like um, before I go on, this is not financial advice, so like use this to your own personal discretion. I'm not responsible for anything that happens after if you like listen to what I'm going to say. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Please consult one. But personally, like what I follow is like the investing guidelines or rules of of buying low and selling high, right? And personally for me, like I'm more of a contrarian investor. I don't like to dabble so much into like degenerate projects or tokens, or even in that culture in a way. I don't go into meme coins that much. Like I want to be able to leave a legacy, not just for myself and like my current family, but for my family and like their family, right? So yeah, like it's really like, to me, I've always saw it as like a common sense thing, like if you're if you're gonna buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Polkadot, like, and if you look at a chart and any of their charts, um, or even you look at the what I call like the cultural or social sentiment of things. So like if everyone is hyping up a certain asset, is it really a good time to buy, right? Because everyone's buying into it, right? So
Right.
very, very famous philosophy by Warren Buffett. You know, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy, and that goes very much in alignment with you buy when it's low and you sell when it's high. So that has often worked for me. I am not a whale in any way, but I've made some pretty nice returns that I can really be proud of and like call them wins, I would say, but in no way that I am a whale. But like that's how I navigate myself through this FUD, through this market worry and anxiety. So
I gotcha. Thanks for sharing, AJ. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to comment on regarding like any of the current market situation, any FUD that you want to help stomp out, anything like that? Feel free. I'll give you a few moments to unmute yourself and speak. If not, I will move on to the next subject. Okay. All right. So the other thing I just wanted to talk about really quick. So we wanted to reiterate we do have some events coming up, guys, that we are going to be attending in Austin. So Decentral is first. Dakota will actually be speaking June 8th at 9:40 a.m. CDT time. I believe that's like 11:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that's the time in the Eastern Standard. The topic will be interoperability, connecting the chains, and along with Composable Finance's CTO Kaiser Carroll. We will try to have that recorded, get you guys some type of way to see that event if at all possible. I will not personally be there at that early, so I can't guarantee you anything from my end. However, I know for a fact we're going to try to get the entire thing recorded and be able to provide it for our online community. Um, on top of that, we will be going to Consensus. So most of the team will be heading out of the office this Monday. So, and they will not be returning essentially for a whole week. They won't be coming back until the following Monday. So if you guys notice that either our engagement's a little high at certain points during the day, or if it's a little low throughout the coming week, just understand that almost all of us are traveling, or we're going to be at events, meetings, all these types of things. So please keep that in mind, and also just keep your eyes peeled during that time, because I'm sure we're going to be sharing a ton of content regarding the events and what we're doing there, how things have been going. We're very, very, very excited for it. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to reiterate that. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever? Community feedback on the project? Any questions regarding the InvArch community at all? The InvArch project, Tinkernet? Any questions whatsoever? I wanted to open the floor for a moment. If you guys have questions, go ahead and let me know. If you guys don't, that's fine. If you guys also just don't feel comfortable sharing it with the entire community, once again, my DMs as a community manager are always open to you. So you are allowed to shoot me a message, and I will try to get you a response as soon as I can. Okay, so nobody has any questions right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you all so much for the first InvArch community call. It's been a pleasure having you guys hang out. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every Friday. So next Friday, expect to catch me at the same time. I will be in Austin, so I will be at the events. However, I believe I'm going to try to just do this from my room. So I will catch you guys there. Thank you all for having questions, being engaging, and I hope to look forward to seeing even more of you guys in the next one. Have some questions ready. Get ready to participate. I want a lot of engagement with these, so don't be intimidated by the amount of people in the lobby, guys. This entire thing is just for the InvArch community to hang out. It's supposed to be a little bit laid back, nonchalant, for us to all just kind of interact with each other and build some camaraderie in the community. So once again, thank you all for attending. I will catch you guys next Friday. Before I hang up and head out, I wanted to reiterate to you all not to miss the Polkadot Promo Team AMA later today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will be sharing an announcement regarding that as soon as it starts. So I hope to see you all there. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, be sure to go into the community updates channel. There is a link where you can leave your questions. So I hope to see you all during the AMA, and I hope to see you all next Friday. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend, and enjoy yourselves in InvArch.